Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I had a subscriber ask a question, and he's saying, hey, I want to try a 3-day fast. I'm considered to be obese, BMI about 31, but I don't really look fat, so I assume he works out, lifts weights, all of that. I have a physically demanding job. Is there going to be any problems with this? Well, I'll have to actually work one day on my job in the middle of this fast. Do you see any problems? So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, do a little bit of crafting, and let's talk about this. Do I see problems? Yeah, I see a lot of problems. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Jason, why are you going to answer such an absurd question? This is probably almost a troll question. You know what? Because there are tons of people who do 2- and 3-day fasts and stuff to try to kickstart weight loss efforts. It's very common among obese women who can't seem to lose weight, and they don't lose weight even after doing this stuff. These are the women who stay obese. These women you guys know who try everything, but nothing seems to work. They love to do detoxes and fasts and all sorts of stuff because they think it's going to help them lose weight. Well, the reality is it's this sort of mentality that actually prevents people from losing weight. It's the mentality that says, I need to make drastic changes to shock my body in some way, or to make an enormous change to my body in a short period of time, and that will help me kickstart my goals. Yeah, because when I see the results from this, whatever shock this is, it's going to motivate me. And you know what? The majority of the time that doesn't work. That's one of the most unsuccessful methods. It's kind of like teaching people to go to these fat loss boot camps, but then they don't actually put them on a strategy they could use long term. Same thing with any diet method. If you try any diet method that you can't maintain in the long term, it is probably going to be an absurdly unsuccessful diet method. It's absolutely going to be unsuccessful. And that's why this sort of stuff needs to be addressed, this sort of nonsense. Because this stuff actually doesn't work. This doesn't work. This comes on the list of people's long line of failures. And again, you see women do this all the time. I know lots of women who do this. Men will do these things too, but I do see that a lot with them. Lots of obese women that I've known will do this stuff. They will do trendy, fatty stuff. They either want to do some sort of detox for their body because they've been convinced by someone that if they detoxify their liver, if they detoxify their colon or whatever, that will help them lose weight, because that's clearly part of the problem. It's not an energy out balance. If there's some toxicity in their body that's making it harder to process food properly, and it's making them store extra body weight. There's all sorts of gurus and idiots who teach this stuff that, oh yeah, it's inflammation causing your body weight. And if we just cleanse your body, which sometimes involves a fast, sometimes it involves a cleansing product, that it will somehow help them in the long term with lose weight, because it'll fix whatever is wrong with their metabolism. The reality is there's nothing wrong with their metabolism. If there's anything wrong with your metabolism, you can get a prescription from your doctor to fix that. And anyone who goes in and they get blood work done and their thyroid comes back normal, it's not your fucking metabolism. It's your food and mouth problem. That's the problem. It's picking up too much food and putting it in your mouth and eating it. That's the problem. It's not your metabolism. It's not exercising enough and eating too much food. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, and you know what? Shocking your body doesn't work. Just like I tell guys doing stupid stuff like an 8-hour arm workout. It's not going to help your arms grow. Are you guys serious? That's insane. The human body thrives on consistency. You know how you get fat? You can't get fat in a month. You can't get morbidly obese in a month, no matter how much you eat. You're going to gain weight, but you would have to really, really work at it. It would be hard. I mean, you know how much food you have to eat to gain a pound of fat every day? I mean, you'd have to stuff yourself till you're pretty much throwing up and be sedentary. All right? You get fat by consistent long-term changes. You consistently overeat. You consistently don't work out. You consistently avoid exercise. And if you do exercise, you only exercise once or twice a month and then you give up. That's consistency. All right? You made a long-term change to your body through consistently, chronically overeating and not moving enough. You reverse it through the same process by consistently moving more, consistently following a slow, gradual, progressive exercise program. Because you know what? The body builds up and gets used to any sort of training stimulus. And as long as you make those training stimuluses small, your body will keep adapting and keep improving. If you make small baby steps in increasing your cardiovascular capacity, you don't get winded and worn out and tired. You will eventually get to where you could jog for miles. If you're just consistent and slowly adding, same thing, you gain muscle and speed up your metabolism by very slowly increasing the workload in the gym, by slowly doing more reps, slowly adding more weight. You do that over months and months, if not years, it will build muscle. It will speed up your metabolism by making little gradual changes. You don't stick to things that you change enormously. When you do something that tries to shock your body, you rebound the other direction. All right, we psychologically will rebound. In other words, if you fast for 3 days, you're not going to lose that much fat. All right, you can only lose a few ounces of body fat in a single day, no matter what you do. Even with an extreme method like that, what you are going to do is lose a lot of muscle glycogen. You're going to lose a lot of water weight. You might even lose a little bit of muscle tissue. And then when you do finally get to eat, you're going to gorge yourself till you're sick because you're going to rebound against it. And then you'll set up a binge and purge cycle. This is a great way to set your body up to become a bulimic or something later. That's actually what this sort of stuff does. Starving yourself, and then you'll binge afterwards. Starve yourself, then binge afterwards. This is how people set up a pattern to where they end up having eating disorders. This is how they set up a pattern to where they binge and purge. And this is how people set up a pattern to where they do not get results in the long term, because they'll keep rebounding back and forth, back and forth. The best way to just lose some weight is to make small changes to your diet. All right, it could be something as simple as I'm going to cut out refined sugars this week, and then 3 weeks from now I'm going to cut out fried food. And then I'm going to start eating more salads. I'm going to make sure that I eat some green vegetables of some type every single day. Making little small changes. Refined sugars, you cut out sodas and adding sugar to everything you eat. All right, that's a start. Then you can cut out fried food. You make little small changes so that over time you eat less and you start reducing your caloric intake. And you start eating better and you start eating healthier. Same thing, you gradually add exercise in, little bits at a time. And once you get used to doing those and it becomes routine and habit, you add a little more. This is how you make permanent long-term changes. Shocking your body doesn't work. Shocking your body is how you end up making no results. You end up with things like binge and purge cycles, or training to exhaustion and then quitting because you're sore and tired and don't want to continue. Now, as far as someone like this individual who's going to do a 3-day fast, there are no fat loss benefits of these fasts. There's no cleansing benefits. All that stuff is bullshit made up by hippies who don't know science. All right? These people are charlatans who are talking to you about cleanses, detox, even fasting like that to do these things. This is not reality. All right? This is someone who probably does way too many mushrooms, and this is the answer they got while communing with Zorgon, the giant turtle who lives in the bottom of Lake Somerville. All right? This is hippie nonsense. It's not reality. You don't gain fat because there's toxicity in your body that you need to detox. What this will do, though, someone with a physically active job, you might die. So what's your danger? You could pass out at your job trying to do anything physically active, even a job where you're up on your feet all the time. You go 3 days without eating and you have to work a day in there that's physically demanding. There's a good possibility you're going to struggle with your job performance. There's a good possibility you're going to black out or pass out in the middle of your work, and they're going to call an ambulance and you're going to be in the emergency room. That's what's possibly going to happen. This is a terrible idea. Don't do it. If you want to lose body fat, make little small gradual changes over time. That's the same way you gain body fat. The same way that you gain it is the same way to lose it. Consistent, habitual, small changes. All right, you make little small changes until they become habit. And in some people's case, that's how you gain weight. You make that habit of eating that extra cookie every day. Once it becomes habit and you do it all the time without thinking about it, it's easier to gain fat. It's the same way with losing fat. Making little small changes will get you there. Don't do stupid stuff like try to shock your body. It won't work. Best case scenario, it's going to do nothing. Worst case scenario, you start setting up binging and purging cycles to where you develop eating disorders and all sorts of problems, and you still don't lose weight. In fact, you might even gain weight. And as crazy as that sounds, yeah, people who get into some of these cycles like this, these repetitive cycles of doing silly stuff like trying to shock their body with a fast or a body purge or detox or whatever, These are people who are looking for a quick fix instead of making small gradual changes in consistency. These are the people who rebound over and over and over, and sometimes they end up fatter a year or two after they started than they were when they first started. Sometimes they end up fatter as a result of it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.